Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Wires and I'm here to talk to you about my love for the Chicago White Sox. I've been a White Sox fan all my life, and it started really because I used to live on the south side of Chicago. My parents had season tickets to Comiskey Park. We wouldn't even have to drive there. We lived so close to Comiskey that we were able to walk. Even in the apartment building we lived in, if we went on the third floor, we were able to see fireworks from Comiskey Park if we didn't make it to that game. For season ticket holders every year, they had a fan appreciation day. It was a day where families would get to go on the field and hang out and get to meet a lot of the players. And one of my favorite stories is when my mom told me that Frank Thomas actually called me a cute baby, so he obviously became my favorite player. My favorite memory at Comiskey Park has to be 1998 opening day when Michael Ordonez hit a home run ball, and my dad had me in one hand and I was 2 years old, and with the other hand somehow caught the ball. My red face from crying because of all the people were yelling, screaming, applauding. I was so confused. My love for Chicago White Sox really made me become a Cubs hater. And my grandparents are big Cubs fans, and when I was around 3 or 2 years old, my grandpa, he take me out to the ball game. And I sang it to my parents on the way home one day, and I said, let's go White Sox. I said, let's go Cubbies. And my dad stopped the car and turned around and screamed and yelled at me and said, no, that's not how you sing it. It's go White Sox, not the Cubs. Ever since then, so I've been conditioned to hate the Cubs. My boyfriend, he's a very big Cubs fan, and he currently has season tickets to the Cubs. And our first day, actually, 3 years ago, was us going to a Cubs game.
Go Cubs go! Go Cubs go! Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today.
Showed up wearing my Sox hat and my Sox shirt, and we look back on that day and he tells me how he questioned if he could be with me because I was a Sox fan and because I even had the nerve to wear Sox stuff to a Cubs game. Every time I invite him to the Sox games, he'll wear Sox stuff and show, oh look, I'm wearing Sox stuff, why don't you wear Cubs stuff to the game? And I go, hey, that's good for you, but I'm not that kind of fan. I'm not a Chicago fan. I am a White Sox fan, and that's it. My number one comeback for when it comes to the Cubs was always 108 years. As the years went on, I would, add them up, and all I would say is, hey, 100 years, 100, now 108 years, and it made Cubs fans shut up. This past Wednesday, November 2nd, the Cubs were in the 7th game of the World Series, and I told my friends I was rooting for the Cubs, but really I wasn't. In my heart, every time Cleveland scored, I would celebrate inside. I was actually shut down and called an idiot and told that I'm too mean and stubborn for not rooting for the Cubs because they're a Chicago team, but yet I have been a hater of the Cubs all my life, so it's very hard to all of a sudden go, yeah, go Cubs, It's like, even if they're in the World Series, I really had to stick to my roots, and I really could not root for the Cubs. As much as I tried to be a team player in this and be happy that the Cubs finally are winning, I just couldn't. There's been a lot of Sox fans that said, hey, it was their year, they just need to get it over with, okay. But I'm still thinking, I didn't want them to win, I don't feel bad for not wanting to win anymore. It's, who I am and who I want to win, and it's something as silly as rooting for sports teams that ruins so many relationships and have changed many relationships in my life recently, but now you really see who are true friends at this point. On Wednesday night, I took the initiative of logging out of my Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook so I wouldn't be able to see people's posts about the Cubs winning. One of the things that really helped me that night was one of my fellow diehard Sox fans texted me and said, how are you feeling? And I go, honestly, not that good. And we texted from Wednesday to Thursday morning, just talking about how going home is going to be different. We're the losers now, and we need someone to talk to because we both felt sad that the Cubs won, even though we were told that we need to feel good about it. I'm like, why is everyone putting me down for not being happy? I'm not gonna say, oh, Cubs suck. It's just the words, I'm happy for you, is not enough for all the Cubs fans. They needed to hear that I was happy and that I was rooting for them, and I'm like, I couldn't say it. I just couldn't. I figured out that the Cubs parade would be on Friday and I would be home. So I decided to go because my boyfriend really wanted me to go with him. He reminded me that I made a bet with him that if the Cubs won the World Series that I would wear Cubs gear. And I never thought it would happen, so I agreed to it, and turns out this weekend I wore Cubs stuff for the first time. I did it because I wanted him to be happy and for him to enjoy the moment. I remember 2005 like it was yesterday. I was only in 4th grade, but just watching a baseball team that I loved all my life make it to a World Series, let alone win it, was something that was amazing. As soon as they won, jumping up and down and screaming and proudly wearing my Sox stuff the next day.
Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmeiro over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series!
Going to the Cubs parade this weekend, I felt better Friday seeing all those Cubs fans together, all those family members. That's something that I'm very grateful that they got to see their team win, and that made me really happy, and that made me feel happier about it, but of course I'm not, ecstatic that they won. So my love for the Sox has ruined and enhanced relationships in my life. They've ruined relationships with people that are big Cubs fans, and we both can't seem to agree on things. They've also enhanced relationships with people that are Sox fans, and we've been through a lot as a Sox fan. Yes, we won it back in 2005, but lately our team's not been looking too hot. The first thing Cubs fans say to me as soon as they hear that I'm a Sox fan is, "Oh, Sox suck, yada yada, Sox suck," and I'm like, yeah, I can admit we actually suck right now, but I'm still a Sox fan because I've been a Sox fan since day one. And for me, a true fan is a fan that stays with their team till the end. I'm not going to be a Cubs fan though. I don't care if they're doing better than the Sox, I'm still a Sox fan.